Hope that this is working. Hi there everybody, my name's Kerry and I'm going to spend a little while here with you today talking about how you can get more clients in your business without necessarily having to work more hours. Now I just want to make sure that this is actually working, so just bear with me a second while I go to the live page and just make sure that you guys can see my screen, which is actually working. So just bear with me. Okay, it's always very strange hearing your voice echoing back at you. But yeah, it looks like everybody can see my screen there. It's not going to be a very long webinar, probably going to be here for 30 minutes or so. I've got some very basic slides put together, but really I'm just going to be talking to you based on what's on the screen in front of you. There'll be the question and answer thingy should be available over on the right hand side for you to ask any questions. I'm not selling anything at all on this. It's not a pitchy type webinar. It's just to give you some information. If you've got any questions at the end, you are welcome to go to my website and book a call and come and have a chat to me, but there's no obligation to do that. You can do whatever feels right for you. So let's go through some of the reasons that I'm doing this Google Hangouts now. A lot of my customers are in the coaching industry, business coaches, life coaches, spiritual healer type coaches, and most of them come to me at the point when they've grown their business to a really nice size. They're quite happy with their clients. They know that they're offering good value for money. They have great testimonials from people, but they're working all the hours they could be working. They're doing one-on-one calls with people, maybe some group coaching, but pretty much they're trading their hours for cash. And that works up to a certain point, but really there's only so many hours in the week, and there comes a point where you don't have any more hours left to work for clients, and you might be starting to wonder, well actually hang on a second, how come some people make a lot more money than I do? It's simply because they have learned how to get more clients without putting in more hours. So that's what we're going to talk about today. It's something that everybody can do. It's something that I teach my clients to do, and it makes massive differences in everybody's business. So hopefully you can all see this slide. Last time I did a Google Hangouts, it didn't show any of the slides. It was just me talking for half an hour. So I'm just very slightly nervous. I'm just going to double check again to make sure this is working. Because it wasn't a lot of fun when I got to the end of the 30 minutes and then looked back and realised that nobody had actually been able to see anything at all. Nobody just wants to listen to me for 30 minutes. That's not very exciting. So I'm just going to quickly go back to this page here and see if... Okay, yeah, cool. I'm going to now trust it for the rest of the time because it clearly is working and doing what it should be doing. So how to start getting some of your clients on autopilot. There's lots of different ways that you can look at getting new clients into your business. But the simplest way and the most effective way and the way that will get you the most clients in the shortest amount of time with the least amount of hours put in from you is by setting up a really good sales funnel. Now, a sales funnel doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't have to be super technical. People hear the word sales funnel and instantly start thinking, oh my God, I don't know how to do that. That's complicated. I could never have a sales funnel. Or you might think sales funnels are sleazy. I don't want to sell to people. I don't want to be having to, I don't want to give off that kind of, I must have the money from you type attitude. Well, sales funnels don't have to be like that. A sales funnel at its very, very simplest is just a way to get all of your potential customers to know who you are and to eventually buy from you. So a funnel is as simple as, if you've got lots and lots of potential clients out there called leads, these are people who have maybe heard of you before, maybe haven't heard of you, have never bought from you, have never really engaged with you, but they're in your target audience and they're potentially somebody that you could help if they knew who you were and if you had the right offer for them. So to get those into your sales funnel, you need, or to get them to work with you, to get them to know who you are, to get them to find out more about you, you need a way of contacting them. So most sales funnels start off with a free offer. So I had this webinar as one of my free offers for a funnel that I recently put together. So I ran Facebook ads and directed them to a landing page. Now that landing page basically said, sign up for my webinar and find out how to get more clients. Instead of giving away this webinar for free, I could have given an ebook or a series of video courses or an email series or a training course or whatever I felt that I had that was valuable to my customer. So put together something that you know your customer will want, you know that will help them, you know that will answer their questions. Put that together and offer that for free to get somebody to come and step into your world and find out a little bit more about you. Because if they're trusting you with their email address, if they're trusting you to come to you and say, okay, you know, technically, I would maybe like to find out a bit more about what you do, you need to give them something back in return. You need to always be thinking about value. What value can you give to your potential clients? The value that you give to people who are not yet your clients needs to be as great as the value that you give to people who are your clients. There's a lot of people out there that have very basic, simple, free opt-ins to their newsletter list and to their funnels. I'm not really interested in giving you my email address in exchange for a very simple one-page PDF on something that really I could have Googled and found out for myself quite easily. If I'm going to give you my email address, I want something really, really good in return. I want to receive something that makes me go, oh my God, that's fantastic. That's really, really helpful. That tells me exactly what I need. And yeah, if she gives that kind of stuff away for free, oh my God, how much value am I going to get if I actually pay to work for her? So think about your free opt-in gift as something really valuable. Give away not your best work, maybe save your best work for paying clients, but give away your really, really great work. Put effort and time into it. Create something that's really, really useful. So that's the very first stage of your funnel. You have a landing page where people will put in their email address, and then they download their free gift or they sign up for their webinar, whatever you're using as a free gift. Setting up the landing page is often done in something like Lead Pages. It doesn't have to be expensive. I think Lead Pages is about £20 a month. There's various other free options out there as well, but it's not a high cost item to get. And the value that you'll get from it and having an organised funnel is just unbelievable. So you set up your landing page, you take people's email address in exchange for a free something, and they're then signed up to your newsletter. Now, you then need to have a series of emails that go out to them over the next couple of weeks once they've signed up for your newsletter, because you need to keep in touch with them. You need to remind them who you are, why they signed up. You want to check in with them. So my particular funnel at the moment goes something like they sign up for the newsletter, they receive a free download. The next email that is sent to them automatically after a couple of days says, hey, thanks for downloading my free thing. Really hope you enjoyed it. Did you get good value from it? Do you have any questions? Would you like a call with me to discuss more? Is there anything that I can do to help you? And I give them a link to book a call with me. After that, 2 or 3 days later, they'll have another email. And at this point, I often give a second piece of free content. So it might be another PDF. It might be a link to a webinar replay that I've done, something else that is useful and valuable to them. So the email will say something like, thanks for joining my mailing list. We really hope you have found the content useful so far. Here's another great piece of content for you. It will teach you ABC. Let us know if you've got any questions. After that, another email will go out with not a downloadable piece of free content, but similar to a blog post, something valuable, something useful, something that positions you as an expert in your field, something that tells this person that's given you their email address that you are going to keep in touch with them, you're going to be consistent, you're going to be there for them, and you're going to provide them with useful content. I don't make any kind of a sales offer until about the 4th or 5th email that goes out. And the sales offers typically in the internet marketing world are kept quite small to start with. So you could then send them an email saying, hey, you've had all this free content from me. I know you found it useful. I'm sure you've done amazing things with it. Would you like to buy this on super special offer? Normally $100, but you can buy it for 20 or whatever it is. Then the email after that would be once more offering them a free call. So once they sign up for your email list, they don't sign up for your email list, get your free download and then disappear into oblivion, never to hear from you again. Whether you send out regular weekly weekly newsletters, monthly newsletters, whatever it is you do, you need to have a funnel in place for when they instantly sign up. So mine looks something like that. It goes landing page, sign up for a newsletter, download a free gift, or join a webinar. Then they have a series of emails offering them help from me. Do you want to jump on a call with me? Do you want to talk to me about anything? Do you have questions? Here's some more free content. Here's a really useful article. Would you like to buy this at a very reduced price? Would you like some help? Do you need to talk to me? So I'm there most days in their inbox, offering value, being helpful, and offering them special discounts. So that is a very, very simple funnel that everybody can set up, and it's a great way to start getting clients in. So then obviously you need to think about how you're going to get people into your funnel. Social media is a brilliant, brilliant way to do this. If you use Twitter, you can set up standard tweets that say free webinar on whatever, download this free ebook, do you want to know the top 5 secrets to blah, 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 blah. Write interesting tweets, and you can schedule them in something like Hootsuite, which is a free app that you can use. Schedule 2 or 3 a day just to automatically go out throughout the day on Twitter. You'll get people that will see them, click on them, go through to your landing page and sign up. You can also post on all your other social media channels. So Instagram is a good one, Pinterest, Facebook. If you're a member of different Facebook groups, you can find out whether you're allowed to promote in those groups. And if so, a lot of them will have like 1 day a week when you're allowed to promote in them. LinkedIn, you can promote your funnel landing page on LinkedIn. You can either have it sort of as part of your profile, or you could do a status update. You want to be making sure that every day you've automatically got 4 or 5 different places on social media where people can click into your sales funnel. I'd recommend having it as the link in your bio on things like Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram. Have the link to where people can sign up for you, rather than sending them back to your website where they can wander around aimlessly and click on all your lovely pages and actually not sign up. Send them directly to a targeted landing page that says, thanks for finding us on Twitter. Sign up for our newsletter here, sign up to receive this download, sign up for our webinar. If you can make it specific, there's no reason that you can't set up different landing pages for different social networks and have them then feeding into the same funnel. So people think, oh, wow, she knows that I've come here from Twitter. Lots of great ways that you can get people onto your mailing list. I have a link to my main landing page at the bottom of all my emails. So whenever I send an email out, it's in my signature, sign up here. Whenever you write a blog post, you could have it at the bottom of your blog post as a call to action. Want to find out more useful information about this subject, click here to download this free app, or click here to sign up for my next webinar. So your sales funnel is really, really important. Getting people into your business on autopilot without you having to go out there and think, right, I need new clients. Who can I call? Who can I talk to? Where can I go? If you have a funnel built and ready, and if you have your posts automated to go out into social media, if you're using the link at the bottom of your emails, if you're using it on your blog post, you've got lots of different ways that your message is getting out there all the time. And that way you'll get more clients clicking on the link and coming through your sales funnel to work with you in your business. So once you've got all these clients in, then you obviously need to work out what you're offering them. And the second area that I help clients with a lot is how they can really leverage their time. Like I said at the beginning, if you're working one-to-one with people, there's only so many hours in the day. You need to allow gaps in between all your one-to-one calls. You need to allow time for marketing, time for admin. You need to allow, time for everything. You could probably only fit 4 or 5 calls in a day, maybe, if you're doing hour-long calls, depending on the way you're structuring your business. And obviously then you're going to come to a point where you can't earn any more money because you don't have any more hours in the day. So having clients on autopilot sales funnel set up is brilliant, as long as you're not getting so many clients in and thinking, I don't know where, I don't know what to do with them. I don't know how I'm going to service all of these clients. So that's when you need to really look at your knowledge and the products that you're offering and how you can leverage your time. If you have been working as a one-to-one coach for a while, you're bound to have lots of experience that you could then package up and sell to people in a different way. So your your system that you have that you take people through in their one-to-one calls, you could transfer that into a group call program. So you could come up with a group program and say sell 10 places on the first one, 20 places on the first one, and just have a group program running for 2 or 3 months or however long it works best in your industry. And instead of people having you one-to-one on Skype or in person, they can have a group call. This means that you can talk to 10 people at once or 20 people at once. It also means that they can pick up information and tips from the other people on the calls, which is also really nice. It's a great way to network, and it's a great way to meet other people who are in your industry and are at your stage of business. Group programs are brilliant. You can offer some kind of hybrid where they have weekly group calls and maybe a monthly one-on-one with you if you think that's something you want to do. But a group call is a great way of getting your content out. In 1 hour, you could talk to 20 people rather than having to do 20 individual hours. Webinars are a great way to leverage your time. I like to do webinars on various subjects. Really, for the half an hour that you are on the webinar, you're sharing information, you're sharing value with people. That then becomes content that you can use again and again. You can have your webinars transcribed and use them as blog posts. You can send them out to people as marketing material. You can include them in your sales funnel. If you run paid webinars, you can charge people for, say, an hour and a half training session, run the webinar, and then you can have it set up on automatic after that so that people are sent directly to that webinar without you having to run it live. Masterminds are a really popular thing at the moment and are another great way to service a large number of people at once. The idea of a mastermind is that it will run for a fixed amount of time, and it will be a group of people who meet regularly to learn and to share information. So I run a mastermind called Your Best 12 Months in Business, where women and men can come along, join the mastermind, learn all about the technical side of growing your business online, setting up your website, your sales funnels, your social media platforms, understanding marketing and sales, looking at who you are, who your customer is. It goes through the whole process. And there's a Facebook group where everybody can post and can communicate and chat with each other, share, help each other out. It's a really good learning environment for everybody because you tend to become very close to the other people in your mastermind. You really want to support them and you want to see them succeed almost as much as you want to succeed yourself. So running a mastermind is another really good way to leverage your time and to ensure that when you're talking to people, you're not just talking to one person at a time. Running online courses, again, if they're like a course that somebody can download and work through in their own time, that's brilliant because once you've created the course once, you don't actually have to be there to deliver the course. It's something that they can download, work through, and then come back and ask you questions in a Facebook group or on a weekly call or something. Really easy to set up. You can have the lessons as PDFs that they can download. You can choose whether to build your own sales funnel for people who have bought that course where they are automatically sent the next lesson every week, or you can send them all the lessons in one go and let them work through them in their own time. You can set up a membership site where they can log into a website using a username and password and download the content and work through it as it suits them. So creating a course using your knowledge and skills is another really good way to be able to leverage your time, do a job once and then sell it many times. So once you kind of sit down and have a look at what your message is, what you're teaching people, what you're covering with your one-to-one clients, you should be able to come up with a list of ways that you could then create products and services that allow you to sell to more people at once. Generally, you can charge different prices for a group call than you would for a one-on-one call. You can charge different prices for mastermind. So the pricing and the structure is really up to you, but there's lots and lots of different ways that you can leverage your time and become much smarter about how you work. The third thing that I wanted to talk about was getting rid of bad clients. Now, everybody has bad clients. It's nothing to feel bad about. Everybody takes on clients that they wish they hadn't taken on. I've done it a few times recently where I've taken on clients because I want the money, really, because they come to me and say, yes, I'd like to pay you this much money. And although there's something in the back of my head that says, now's not the right time for this. This isn't exactly what you want to be selling. I'm not convinced they're your ideal customer. Everybody has made the mistake of saying, yes, I'll take you on. And then you realize quite quickly that actually it's not the right client for you. Now, once you're in that situation, you obviously have to deal with it and either continue with it or give them the money back and move on to another client. But that's not a great situation to be in. It doesn't make you feel good. It doesn't make them feel good. And it's generally not a great thing to do. So to make sure that you don't get in that situation, you need to be really, really choosy about who you work with. You need to be completely 100% clear on who your ideal client is. And you need to screen clients before you accept them onto a group program. I don't like the idea of having just a buy it now button on your website when anybody can buy and join your group program, because if at the end of the day they're not your ideal client, they could cause more problems being part of the group than you will get benefit from their £1,000 or however much you've charged them. So it's a really good idea to be really picky about who you work with and to screen clients before you work with them. So one really, really good way to do that is to get people to book calls with you. You can sell to somebody really well on a call, much better than you can just from sending them an email. And also you'll get a really good idea about who the person is, whether they're going to fit in with the other people in your group programs, whether they're going to work really well with you. And if you have any doubts about working with them, I would suggest that you pass them on to somebody else in your field who you know would work well with them, or just be really honest with them and say, thank you for your time, but I'm not sure that you're quite the right customer for me. Nobody likes to be told, no, I won't work with you, but nobody likes to be in a situation where they're uncomfortable, and nobody likes to, feel like it's not working out or they've done something wrong. Just because they're not the right client for you, or they would be a bad client for you if they hired you, doesn't mean there's anything wrong with them. It doesn't mean they're a bad person. It doesn't mean that there's something wrong with their business. It just means they don't fit for you. So there's nothing wrong with saying, I think you'd be a great fit for one of these other people, but you're not quite the right fit for me. So if you are getting people on calls to book in with you, a great way to kind of really be specific about what you're going to be discussing with them is to have a template questionnaire that you can send out to them. So when they book the call with you, you can reply and say, thanks so much for booking time with me. Can you just answer these 5 really basic questions before we get on the call? Because sometimes you'll be able to tell from the answers to those 5 questions whether it's even worth having a call with them or not, or whether you should just be saying, actually, sorry, this isn't going to work out for me. Have you tried one of these people? So ask them really basic questions about where they are in their business, where they want to be, what they're hoping to get out of your group, or what other classes they've done recently, where their skills are, what their goals are for the next year. Get as much information from them as you can before you get them on the phone. And when you're selling your group or your mastermind or your program to them, be really, really clear about the structure of the program and about the value that they're going to get from it, and have really strong boundaries around, as part of this, you get a call with me once a week. You don't get unlimited email access. You don't get to Skype me in the middle of the night when you're panicking about something. You don't get to talk to me one-on-one. You get 1 group call a week. If you're not clear with those boundaries right from the start, it can be very easy for people to feel like they have more access to you than you are willing to give to them. And that's where problems can come along. So being really, really clear up front about your boundaries. I don't answer emails after 5 o'clock at night. I don't answer emails at the weekend. That kind of thing. Being really, really clear up front helps to improve the relationship. And communication is a huge one as well. And I can be really guilty of this when I'm super busy and I've got a lot of things on. Replying to emails cannot take as much priority as it really should do. And I have to constantly remind myself that, communication is hugely important, and replying to emails, replying to queries, keeping in touch is massively important if you want to keep clients and if you want to work well with them. So hopefully you can see from this that there's lots of ways that you can move from kind of a one-on-one model into building some really good and really simple sales funnels, leveraging your time, getting customers coming in through your sales funnel automatically, and then having products to sell them that will enable you not to be trading hours for money. I wanted to really quickly talk about your messaging as well. Messaging is the way that you position yourself and the way that you speak to your clients and the way that you communicate with them. And it is so important. And it's the one thing that so many people get wrong. You need to be positioning yourself as the expert in your industry, as the go-to person. And bear in mind that everybody's going to be trying to do this, but everybody will have a different ideal client. And your ideal clients will be attracted to you because of who you are, because of how you position yourself. So remembering that you get what you ask for is really, really important. If you're putting out there Facebook ads that say, "Are you tired, overwhelmed, confused, and unhappy?" you'll be attracting people into your programs who are tired, overwhelmed, confused, and unhappy. And maybe that's exactly the kind of client you're looking for, but maybe it isn't. I work with a lot of coaches that say to me, "Oh, I don't know how I've got so many clients, and all they do is get overwhelmed and get depressed quite easily and are really stressed out." And it's because that's what you're asking for. So looking at your messaging is really, really important. Look at the words that you're using. Go back to basics and have a look at who is your ideal customer. Who are they? What are they? Why are they in this business? What do they need from you? What do they struggle with? How do you fix their problems? What value do you offer to them? And be really careful about your language that you use, and also really consider the methods and the way that you communicate with them. There's so many ways these days that you can get your message out there to people. You can blog, you can record videos, they'll be watching you on social media, you can do webinars like this one, other kinds of webinars. You can have a podcast. There's lots of different ways that you can get your message out there to your ideal customer. And you just need to make sure that it's the right one. Because if there's any kind of mismatch or disconnect between who you are and who your customer is and how you speak to them, you won't be bringing in the right kind of clients. So as a nice little summary at the end, I would say that it's really, really possible for anybody to build themselves a simple online sales funnel, which will encourage them to, which will allow them to get more clients on autopilot. You won't have to be actively looking for clients. You'll have clients coming into your funnel. You'll be able to leverage your time and make more money per hour rather than having to spend 1 hour with each client. You'll have a really clear understanding of who you want to work with, who you don't want to work with, and how you can attract the right customers to you. It's a really, really great next step to take once you have an established business with established services or products. Anybody can do this. It's not complicated. It's not rocket science. Yes, it takes time and effort, but then I truly believe that anything that you want to do in life that's worth doing takes time and effort. So, that wouldn't put me off. If you have any questions, you can book a call with me. You can go to my website, which is kerryrycroft.co.uk. I'm just going to quickly have a double check and make sure that nobody has asked any questions that I haven't seen while I've been here. So if you just bear with me. I'm always happy to answer any questions. You can find me on Twitter most of the time. My Twitter account is just Kerry Rycroft. I've got a Facebook page where you can come and find me. And if you want to email me, it's kerry@kerryrycroft.co.uk. So hopefully this has been useful for you, and hopefully it's shown you how you can quite simply create a funnel without feeling too overwhelmed or stressed out by it. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money. It doesn't have to be hugely complicated. It just needs to be a system that your potential clients can go through to find out more about you and to eventually decide to work with you. So that's all for today. I'm going to be doing webinars every Tuesday afternoon at 2:00 UK time. Next week's webinar is all about how to grow your social media following and your mailing list, particularly aimed at those people who want to write a book. If you're looking to have a book published by a publisher rather than self-publishing it, you are going to need very strong social media following and a very strong mailing list. So next week at 2:00 I'll be hosting a webinar that explains to you actions that you can take to build your mailing list and to build your social media profiles. So if you are watching this webinar and you haven't already signed up for my mailing list, you can do so by going to my website. You can sign up and receive the free download and also be the first to hear about future webinars that I have coming up.